one thing that I think was crucial to get into in this whole argument you were talking about with me beforehand was this whole idea of behavioral marketing. And I don't know if you want to go into casting the wide net just once or the retargeting that is being at play here.
My name is... Anyways, there's an interesting thing that's changed in marketing, right? I'm going to be working in this field, so my bias here could show at any point in the argument. I'll be fully honest in saying I'm about to become a person who gets paid for a living at a 9-to-5 to do digital marketing with Facebook and Google ads. So just keep that in mind. I became interested in this subject of digital marketing because I thought it was interesting how you can convince someone that they needed to buy something. Something about that process was interesting to me when I took an introduction to marketing. This is pre-digital marketing being introduced to me. But then when I found out about digital marketing, it kind of, snowballed my interest. Basically, beforehand, you used to just target ads on TV shows or radio shows, whatever it was, based on demographical data. And what that means is if there's a sports radio show, they know that their range is males from
20 to 60.
20 to 60, right? With peaks, a very high interest in beer and whatever it is, Exactly.
Ford trucks and beer.
Yeah, Ford trucks, whatever it is. Yeah. And the same goes for certain TV shows like entertainment news, like could have a different demographic, whatever it is. They did it based on, we know these viewers usually are mainly women or men in a certain age group, and they like these kinds of things. We'll target ads on those different platforms like that. But now we have what's called behavioral marketing data. So behavioral marketing, and this is like the backbone of digital marketing, is they know what your Google searches are. And by the way, I'm sure many of you guys kind of know this, but I'm just going to get a little into the weeds on it. They know your searches, they know where you click, they know when you click, they know how far you've gotten into a sales funnel of a company. This is done between Google tracking your stuff based off their website and their ads, the Facebook pixel, which tracks data on most websites so that it can get sent back to Facebook. Basically, it's like this is a little code that you can install on your website. I believe I actually have it installed in Rise Productive. That then gets sent back to the Facebook page, and that goes into a larger database. So then Facebook kind of invented this thing a while ago called lookalike audiences, which takes behavioral data and can give you this sort of broad net you can cast. Say you want to sell corgi shirts, right? Like know exactly who's clicking on corgi shirts, so you can set a lookalike audience for people who like dogs or corgi shirts, or a lookalike audience even based on they like this specific corgi page. We know even not people who haven't clicked on that page yet, but who very much may end up doing that based on their other behavioral data. And this is where the whole argument of whether it's ethical and stuff comes in, and now people are getting the option to say, okay, sorry Facebook, sorry Google, sorry whatever app you're on an Apple device, I'm not okay with you getting my information. I'm really not okay with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's odd, right? I mean, with the demographics, it's like we can work outside of that mold. I'm a white male, and if I watch the NFL, they're probably targeting a lot of ads towards men. But I don't know, Ford trucks don't interest me.
Nope.
Brett Favre selling jeans doesn't really interest me. But I'm able to work around that, right? But then when we get to behavioral marketing, it's just so interesting how they're finding out exactly what you do and what you like and catering exactly to that. And it seems advantageous to an extent. I mean, they're bringing you exactly what you wanted, right? If you are interested in corgis, it'd be cool to have a corgi shirt. You like corgis.
I love corgis.
And maybe if you weren't a minimalist, you'd want a corgi shirt.
You know what's messed up, man? Okay, have you ever seen any Shopify ads on YouTube?
No.
Okay, well, Shopify is a website where you can set up an online store, essentially. It's of e-commerce. website, right? I'm almost positive they have a lot of different Shopify ads, but they use the specific one with a corgi website the person's making just for people like me.
I was going to say, where did you pull this from? Because I know you're into corgis. Have you gotten advertised a corgi shirt?
Shopify used to just have normal ads. Like they kind of broad range their net and be like, oh yeah, like you can make your own website and sell your products. And I'm like, that's cool. I know what you are, Shopify. Thanks. I used to have an account. And then like a month ago, started getting some corgi ones, and I was like, this is sus.
Oh, that's sus.
I'm like, I know I'm not the only one getting them, but I'm the only one who's I'm one of the few that is entrepreneurial, also getting corgi mixed in there. Like, who did this? Is this too far?
It is too far. Everyone has a scary story like that too. There are always people who are like, yeah, like, I Google searched this, or like, I like was talking about this, and then all of a sudden I got an ad for it. Like with me, the second I started studying for the LSAT, I start getting YouTube ads that are saying, oh, like, I did the Princeton review and turned my score from this to that. And I'm like, wonderful. I'm going to be honest with you. When I took my diagnostic test, I'm pretty sure that they advertised to me the score that I got on my diagnostic test. And they said, I went from this score, the one I had.
Dude, man.
And I went and got this. And I was like, that is so freaky.
That's so freaky. And it's like, you hear these situations from people all the time. I mean, so when we talked about fake gurus last episode, can't make this up. I know for a fact that my iPhone right now is recording, so technically it's allowed to track my data. Could not tell you how many fake guru ads I got immediately after recording that podcast.
Really?
I swear to God.
That's crazy.
I mean, I get a lot of them regardless, but I was in a bit of a lull. And ever since I talked about it, and then once I started editing them the other day, looking up some fake guru pictures, yada yada, for the thumbnails, I swear, I can't stop getting fake guru ones. And I'm like, you know what? You can't sell to a fake guru. No, that's we talked about how I'm not.
After the biophilic design, you're gonna get ads for ferns or something.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, even when I told you I was getting more monitors. Yeah. I got monitor stand ads after we ate lunch when I told you.
And see, as bad as that is, is it not convenient that monitor? Oh,
it's so convenient, yeah.
You need one. You need a monitor stand probably, right?
Maybe.
And it's right there. And that's what I'm saying. It's like social control isn't great because we should not be encouraging people to shop this much and consume, because we've spoken about it, and minimalism speaks out against it. It's just not going to bring you any kind of happiness.
I agree. But here's the thing. Big brain. I think a true look at the definitionally what minimalism would be is if someone were to control their spending habits. Technically, behavioral based, real specific targeted ads would be more minimalist than you getting RAM ads and then buying a RAM because you were convinced by the ad, even though you didn't really want it. Because based on your behavior, you are actually someone who would probably like whatever ads you're getting with this type of targeting.
What would a minimalism ad be, though?
No, I'm just saying, so minimalism is intentional living, right?
Sure.
So if you intentionally purchase things that were suggested to you because it's actually like something that you would find value from.
Oh, sure.
You could make the minimalist argument that in all technicality, that's better than them casting a ridiculously demographic wide net. And then you being like, oh, I guess I could like Ram trucks.
I guess. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. But at the same time, it's not intentional. You just behave the way you normally do in this.
It's manipulative, yeah.
Yeah, it came right to your front doorstep. You didn't actually seek out or do any kind of deliberative process to think what monitor stand you need. They just offered you one. I think the most minimalism thing about it is that it's this constant battle that you have to fight against the algorithm, where it says like, I know you need this, I know you want that, and the minimalism in you just has to keep saying it's not going to bring anything to me.
Yeah, and that's very true. I think the power to stay away from it in this modern age. It speaks out to how difficult it is to be a minimalist nowadays. Like, I've gotten slack from our friends about like, oh, you have this. It's like, you're not really a minimalist. It's like, well, all right. First of all, that's not the definition. Second of all, I mean, the climate we live in. Like, I think I'm not trying to absolutely glorify the fact that I only own the shirts or whatever, the gray shirts, but like, not exactly the easiest decision to make when you get this many ads.
Yeah, no, so I'm saying it's like, that's the intentional decision, in my opinion, is being able to fight that off.
Fair enough.
Not lean into the algorithm.
Fair enough. And then like, I was telling Chance before, and this too, they've gotten to the point where it's, retargeting is exceptionally good nowadays, with not only the Facebook pixel, but other different softwares you can implement on your websites and stuff. There is the ability to track, how far into the clicking process you were. So say you click on a Google ad, or you just click on a website in general, you get to the point where you have stuff in your shopping cart, but you won't click. They obviously can retarget and give you a new ad to finally push you over the edge. And I find that, like, man, that's kind of messed up, because there is no scenario in real life. Okay, wait, there are scenarios in real life where you can get pushed over the edge by a person,
right,
being like salesy to you at a store.
Yeah,
so I was going to say no, but that takes out the human element in it, man. Like, there's a certain level of, someone likes online shopping because they're alone, right? So let's work in the assumption the person I'm referencing likes being alone. They like to make the decisions by themselves. They don't want to be sold to. They don't want a salesman like pushing it. And you're just not even giving them the option to have that, if they're on the internet at least. You're not even giving them the option to not be excessively sold to, where it pushes them over the edge, where they get something they don't want or need. And it's like, if you go to Best Buy, someone's going to strategically like notice that you're contemplating and do it. But in the comfort of your own home, it's like, they really shouldn't. I don't think they should be able to do that to you.
No, I agree, man. And like, the way that we've just become so coded in our phones and make all these system one decisions, just as soon as a notification pops up, we like to react to it. And it's like, it takes even less deliberation when it's over the phone to just immediately go after that, instinctive algorithm push.
Yeah, that's a sad thing about it. But we were talking about this before, and we mentioned on the podcast, it's like, choices are good. Like, it's good that morally, it's like good that you have choices, but does that actually make people happy? It's like having this choice. Is Apple giving Facebook this choice? Sorry, is Apple giving users this choice actually going to make them happier? If you want to see this episode or any other episode of the Rise Productive podcast, make sure to go and check the show out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else that you can find podcasts today.